Hey everybody, it's Jochen Heiden, and I'm back with the Lodrik versus Heiden campaign, Warner Pacific Admirals Edition, Scenario 1, no mods. This is the 16th of March, 1942, turn 100, combat replay and analysis. Let's do it. And we're back with today's disaster. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what happens now. Oh, he grabbed another base down there in the Gilberts. That must mean he's up there doing something. I've been really dreading dealing with China right now because it's such a mess. Oh, okay, no night bombing at all. Man, it's pretty quiet. This is a quiet turn. Maybe we're gonna get off easy here. So far, this is all normal stuff. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that is not good. Dang it. You know what? I have so many escorts on these guys. I can't believe it. What's the point of these escorts if they're not going to do their job, you know? Ugh, that sucks. And we can't even hurt the guy. Oh, we got a hit there. All right. Yeah, another hit. Ooh, good. Here we go. We're getting some damage on him now. Come on, Stuart. Let's do some more. Let's do some more. Oh, good. Okay. We've hit it a few times now. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose that ship, and that's a pain. And I'll explain why later. We did get some damage on the RO-67. It's probably not enough to sink it, and he's only got to go to Rabaul to get repaired. So I'm sure we're gonna hear a sinking sound. Dang it. All right, at least we rescued some guys. Now let's get some payback, huh? Oh, come on. Ah, it's so frustrating, these Mark 14 torpedoes, man. This game is so frustrating for the Allied player in the early part of the war. It's taxing me. It's taking me to my limit. Okay. Well, at least we got an intercept, but that's not what I want to be intercepting. Okay. An ACM? Why are we running from an ACM? Why don't you just surface and use your deck gun? Jeez. This guy's a coward. Who's it? K18? Write that name down. We're going to go find out who that guy is. K18. This guy's letting me down. He could have easily hit these guys. Oh. Okay, I've had enough with the subs this turn. Okay, give me a break. Are you kidding me? How does a sub even line up that sort of attack? These guys are going full speed. Give me a break. Man. It's too much. Too much subs today. Ooh. Ooh. You guys seeing that? All right, I knew it. He's going for a strike on Lord Howe. I did expect it. All right, so he's looks like he's striking the airfield. No, the port. Okay, he went for a port. All right. The weather's probably helping here. All right, and I totally 100% expected this to happen. This is a attack to try to slow our troops down, leaving Henyang. Totally expected this. You're going to see a lot of stuff targeting both Changsha and here as he tries to slow us down. And I'm just going to blow through it pretty quick. I'll show you the casualties. I'm not going to say much because it's pretty self-explanatory. If my troops are in move mode and he attacks them, bombs them, anything that gets hit by these bombs knocks into combat mode, and it slows down the amount of mileage we can put on the road per day. So we're just going to kind of go through that pretty quick. There's not much we gain from watching this. Yeah, it's very clear where he's targeting next. He's going for Henyang. And this is very standard, usual Lodrik bludgeoning style because that's all he knows how to do is just use blunt force and not finesse. I'm a finesse guy. He's a blunt force guy. Ooh, looks like we got some bombers over Port Blair. Oh, I think we found some stuff here. Oh, nice. So I think we're finding the remnants of some of those zeros that we damaged the other day. Nice. Okay. Yep. So that confirms it. A lot of the zeros that are damaged at Port Blair are stuck there. So now is our time to hammer down and see if we can destroy more. Right? Okay. That's the AM phase. Wasn't entirely unexpected at all. So far, it's kind of going exactly to what I... Look at all those subs down there. 4 subs. Well, now I know where they went. All right, now he's sending a little bit of love up here to Sion area. Oh. Okay. He's attacking Palembang now because he's getting tired of not taking that place. This might be what it needs to finish the job. This added disruption from the bombing will probably be enough. You know what? I just realized my in-game sound was not up high enough. So sorry if you've been missing out on some noises. Oops. There we go. Sorry about the noises, guys. You had to hear me talk more. Does my voice sound better? I'm feeling better today. I think I'm over the COVID. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Okay, so Lodrik is continuing to do some mop-up operations out here in the Philippines. Pretty sure he'll take it this time. I would be shocked. Utterly shocked if he did. There it is.
Hello,
Oh,
all you poor GIs and Marines.
You get to listen to her. I'm turning her
This is
down.
Orphan Anne at Radio Tokyo, bringing you some hot music and another blow to your morale. Today, our High Command announced that the ever-victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have captured Palembang.
Well, there's Palembang. It took him a while. What? This is mid-March, and he's finally now got it. But man, look at those casualties. I didn't think I had that many troops in there. Not a good day. Not a good day. I can only hope that our guys tore the crap out of that place on the way out. So that's it. That is literally it for um, Sumatra. So now Lodrik fully controls Malaya, Sumatra, and Java. There you go. Okay, back into China, we're having a bombardment attack north of Xi'an. He's been trading pretty good up here on these. Yeah, look at that. Dang. That, we won't be able to sustain that forever. Oh, here we go. The Killers of Kagayan. Is their number up? Let's find out. Yep, it's up. Man, it's going to be another bad turn for points. Look at that. We've lost so many. Well, how many troops we lost today? Is anybody counting? Thousands. And Darwin. Oh, I have no idea about Darwin. This is a crapshoot. Oh, no! No! Oh! Man! What a bad turn. This is terrible, man. I just can't catch a break. Look at that. Oh, man. What a wipeout. What a wipeout. This is a terrible turn. Can I have something good happen? No, yeah. I got something good happening right now. The turn is ending. It's exhausting playing two allied campaigns at the same time. Early war. It's really exhausting. It's mentally taxing because nothing good happens. It's nothing good. It's hard to stay motivated when you know you're going to get your butt kicked every single turn you load up. I mean, geez, I almost lost the Indianapolis on top of all the rest of this. Despite running at full speed, I don't even know what else to do. Like, what more can I do than that? How are his subs able to intercept full speed ships and I can't even intercept cargo ships? You know? How? Yeah, okay. Man, I don't even know what's worse today. The fall of Darwin or the fall of Palembang. Man, there's so much to talk about this turn. We'll just start with our normal routine. Okay, aircraft losses for today. Actually, not too bad. It's showing 7 for the Japanese, 0 for us. It says 6 here, but there's a little bit of, obviously, something can't count here because I'm counting, something else here. No, that is 6. I don't know why it says 7. Might be some desync stuff. So obviously we lost no pilots, which is good. We'll take a look at our wounded pilots, see what we got. Looks like the list of wounded pilots is getting smaller every day here in the group, and these guys are going back to their squadrons this month. Oops, nope. I want to look at the reserve pool now. And as you see here, we still have a lot of wounded pilots on this list. And as these guys go back to their units, we're just going to be left with these guys that have no return date. And then we need to make a decision as to what we want to do with them at that point. I've been looking at this guy, Tanner B, for a while. Let me see if I can find him. And I've been watching him for over a month to see if he would come back, and he's not. So what I had been doing previously was just right-clicking and retiring them, right? But someone suggested I wait a little bit longer to see if maybe these guys just have wounds that are worse than what they seem, and see if they get a return date at some point. But I'm not seeing it so far. So to declutter my list, I may start releasing them and retiring them just because I don't like to see all these guys that I can't have in my list. But we'll keep waiting a little bit longer. Taking a look at our reserve pools, or these are my pilot replacement pools. We're in absolutely no risk of running out of pilots right now. We're getting way more pilots than we're losing. So that's one reason that I'm not really looking at the TRACOM right now. The TRACOM allows you to put pilots that have over 80 experience, so 81 and up in here. And over time, they can accelerate your pilot training, right? They can move pilots from like 1 month to the next. So over the course of time, you'll get more pilots in your pool. I find this to be a little more useful for the Japanese player because they don't have nearly as robust of a pilot training program. But for the Allies, I need those pilots in the frontline units right now because the Japanese pilots are just better. So we need everything we can get up at front. If you do have questions about TRACOM, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them for you. I did discuss this in my pilot training tutorial a while back, but the information that I supplied was not accurate at the time because I didn't know as much as I know now. So I do intend to release an update to that to explain how the TRACOM works better because I didn't understand it as good as I do now. But anyway, moving on. Army lost points this turn were bad. We lost 345 points to the Japanese 1. That's due to the blowouts at Darwin and Palembang. There was a lot of troops that were lost in both places. So looking at ship sunk last turn, we lost this ship on the way to Port Moresby. I'm dropping some troops off there. Fortunately, I took the troops that I had and I split them up around like 15 ships. So like any individual ship being lost wouldn't lose me a lot of troops. So the actual losses were minimal there. And unfortunately, we get this counted as a ship sunk. There's a ship that was planned to be built in Darwin. That's been canceled now. So the Bundaberg, which was just a regular 1-point minesweeper, we're not going to get it. Oh well. Okay, so take a quick gander as a summary here of the intel page, and I will let you know that the Japanese went up 701 points last turn, which is a very substantial jump, which brings their win ratio to 1.664 to 1. So still not the 4 to 1 that he needs by the end of the year, but every turn he's chipping away at me. He's had a run of almost 10 turns of winning. So Lodrik has really turned up the heat. From wanting to quit after losing to Kaga to this, he's really doing well now. China, he's broken through. He just took Darwin. He's finished the conquest of Sumatra. For a guy that was about to quit, he's doing pretty good now. So I looked at the combat report, and I do believe we're experiencing a minor desync here. And it's minor because what I've noticed were differences in like the combat reports here. I recall our bombardment during the combat replay being worse, for example, here. And now all of a sudden it's not. It's better for us here. Little stuff. Like how many units retreated from Cagayan, right? We saw in the combat replay, I swear I saw more units destroyed. Now we have none that are destroyed. So yeah, there appears to be a minor desync going on here, but it's not enough for me to make a big deal out of because it's just changing a little bit of stats here. Nothing that I can fix and nothing that's going to really change what happened. So I am on the lookout for desyncs now, and there appears to be a minor one here, but not anything to write home about. Okay, let's talk about Sigyn. There's a lot of stuff to talk about here. Ponape, again, he's moving more stuff there. What is going on over there? So I've moved a couple subs here just to kind of keep an eye on the place, but he is moving a lot of troops to Ponape. I don't understand why. We've got AA regiments. We have a Air Force unit. We have a division heading to Ponape. Why? Lodrik knows something that I don't about this base. I I don't get it. So we're gonna keep watching this place closely, but he is moving a lot of troops here. All right, look at this. More divisions are now planning for an attack on Colombo. Makes like 3 to 4 divisions now, plus an army HQ that are planning for an attack on Colombo. I don't know if he's actually going to try to pull it off, but he has got a lot of troops earmarked for this. It's making me a little nervous. So I do have reinforcements heading there, but still, I don't have as much as what he's allegedly planning to send, if this is actually accurate. So this is something we need to be concerned about. Also, a little bit lower than that, we see he has more divisions being loaded and moving to Georgetown. So let's look at Georgetown. That's the space right here. My guess is that I don't know what he's doing. It really doesn't make sense to me to move troops to Georgetown. Why would you not just move them to Singapore or to Bangkok or something else? To land them here doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But he's moving divisions to Georgetown. If you guys have a good reason as to why he might do that, let me know. We had 2 different callouts for radio transmissions over here. And that's basically right here. So there's a lot of ship activity near Raoul Island, supposedly. And the last thing that I see here is there was 2 callouts for radio transmissions at Nagasaki, which is in Japan. But when I mouse over it, I see nothing. So I don't know if this is desync related or not. But typically when you have two callouts for radio traffic at a base, you get a lot of information from it. And we're not getting anything. Anyway, moving on to the ops report. A couple noteworthy things to bring up here are my B-26s seeing a lot of activity down here south of New Zealand near the South Island. There's a lot of subs down here. I think he's thinking that I'm going to bring ships through here and drop them off at Dunedin, and he would be absolutely correct. Look at all the ships that I just moved in there in anticipation of the convoy lanes opening up to send them back to the West USA. But I got B-26s on basically every base now. Well, most bases. So those are my ASW assets, and I'm hopefully next turn we can exact a bit of a toll, because if you look at the B-26s, we have pretty decent pilots in them for ASW. See that? These 70 rated pilots have a high likelihood of actually initiating an attack on a sub. And the B-26 carries 3 500-pound bombs in its ASW loadout, which if you land those on a sub, they're going to break it. All right. What else we got here? We'll talk about Palembang and Darwin when I go around the map. Look at this. Sion expands to size 7 airfield. Now, when he captured this base, it was like a size 3 or 4 airbase. In the last few weeks, he has rapidly built this base up to a size 7 airfield. That's impressive. He has got a ton of engineers here to be able to do that. So clearly he's looking to base more bombers out of here to increase his drive to land chow. That's why he's built this base up so much, is what I can surmise from this. But rapid growth in the air capacity at Sion. Okay, look at this mention here. I don't know what to make of this. This is literally the 3rd time I've seen the Ushio being reported as having been sunk near Banjarmasin on this date. This is the 3rd time I've seen it. I don't know what to make of it. How many times can the same ship sink? We also got the Newcastle, which is a decent light cruiser at Cape Town. And we got a new air unit at Cairns. I believe it to be another Kitty Hawk unit, which is basically an Australian P-40. And then we have a artillery regiment at Heiden that we already got loaded on a ship and heading out. Okay, let's talk about the actual situation here on the map. Status quo up here in the north for now. Lodrik just bombards here. He is having good bombardments, and we're taking some losses, but I've got another 800 AV transferring over from this hex to this hex to even it out, and I think we'll be safe after that. It'll be difficult for him to break through after that. And then it's just going to be a static war up here. And then if he wants to try to take it from the north, I know he's got about 800 AV of troops up here. They won't break through at Lanchow with that level of force unless he brings a lot more, because we have good terrain, we got good forts, and we have about 600 AV when I bring these guys out of signing. And that's enough to hold this place for a long time from 800 AV coming from the north. Now, down here in the south, it's a whole other story. It's a mess. We see here that Lodrik has moved in one turn basically all of his armor from Xiangtan to Xiaoyang. And you can expect next turn heavy bombardment by air on this base, followed up by a massive armor attack in this hex. And he will break through. Oops, what am I doing? He'll break through, and then it's going to be a line drive. He's going to try to go up this road and take Chikyang, and then continue just ravaging through our backlines. That's what his goal is here with the armor. So this will stop him. Then hopefully these guys retreat to here. They'll stop him again. And then I'm also going to reinforce this hex here, because we got a lot of AV here. It's on ×3 terrain. It's a shock attack for him up against size 3 forts. I think we might be able to stop the armor at this point. But I do have more troops coming in to reinforce here. These guys are going to be coming up this way and retreating and making a right-hand turn and going to start guarding this hex. And then we'll start falling back up into this ×3 terrain as time goes on. So once I get these guys to here, we should have about 4,300 AV here, which is on ×3 terrain, which is good stuff. And it will take him about 12,000 AV to break through here. If he does, then we'll just start fighting delaying actions along all this ×3 terrain on this road as he tries to get his way into Chongqing. But we'll hold here and here for now with what we've got. And then these troops here in Henyang are currently on the move, and they're retreating down this way because we can't get out that way. And we're just going to take a long road all the way here, and we'll probably build a position at Kuaiyang. It's not the best terrain, but it allows us to cover all these road junctions in case he breaks through here and here. So that's the plan for now. But we are definitely giving up these bases and giving up probably Kuailin, Liu Chao, and Nanning as well to fall back to a new line kind of here. I know that might be clear as mud, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. You can see I've got troops moving all over the place here trying to make this happen. Like these guys, I don't know where they're going, but they need to turn around and hit the Kuaiyang. Where's this guy going? Nope, turn around. We're sending these guys here to start building up forts. Alright, that's the plan. In Burma, different story. Lodrik is just not doing anything here. I don't know what his plan is for Thailand. He's just like ignoring it. Next turn, though, we should be taking Chiang Mai. And then we'll start on down to Uttaradit. We'll take that easily. And then we'll consolidate our gains here. Start building up these bases. Bringing the American troops and aircraft from the United States. And then we'll start thinking about a way to get down into Bangkok. That's really all there is to say about that. We can take a peek over here at the old Hermes. And actually, I do have something nice to report. The Hermes flotation damage went down 2 points last turn. So the crew is getting a handle on the situation here. And it's not sinking as much. So it was like listing 45 degrees. Now it's listing 44 degrees. But it's going to be incredibly slow going. I do have this task force heading out to help. So the Revenge and the Sovereign and some other ships to provide security for this. And this is going to be the new task force commander, who is much better than the one that they've got. So I'm hoping there's some influence there to help with repairs and keeping the ship afloat. And then we'll bring this ship down into Adu and do emergency repairs and then continue it on to Colombo later on. All of my aircraft carriers, I elected not to send them back out towards Adu. I don't think we need them right now. So I brought them back to Colombo. Right now, the Yorktown is just going through some repairs. Indomitable. The rest of my ships that took some damage from just the movement, I got them here in the shipyard patching up just to get them back to 100%. And we also have all of the air assets unloaded again. And we're just training again. We got all of the pilots back on land, training, tidying up, fixing the aircraft, replenishing these squadrons. The next squadron I'm looking to replenish is going to be VF3. I did convert them into F4 F4s that freed up a lot of F4 F3s for this over here. The Hornet, we're rolling out Super Fighter Heavy. So I want this guy at maximum quantity. I also have next turn. Where is it? Next turn, this squadron is going to take another 7 or 8 F4F4s, and it's going to more or less fill it up. And we're going to roll it out really heavy. I do plan to overstack the aircraft carrier just a little bit. Probably about 95 aircraft. What I'm being told is you can safely operate the aircraft carrier without any real issues with up to 10% overloading on its capacity. Anything over that, you start having issues with flight deck operations and, coordination, that kind of thing. But I think we can go over 90 just a little bit. So we're going to have about 50, 60 fighters on board and 36 dive bombers. I would love to convert these guys if I could. I don't know if we can. We may just want to stick with the SBD2s for now. I don't think we have enough SBD3s to make it worthwhile. But yeah, then the Hornet heads out, and then we will figure out what to do with it after that. So, obviously, this turn he took Palembang, which was a big deal. He now fully controls Malaya, Sumatra, Java, and everything except Sandakan on Borneo. And initially, I thought Lodrik wasn't doing so great with his speed of advance in the Dutch East Indies. I thought he was not really performing very well, but now that I look back on it, we're only on March 15th, and he's got 75% of it, and all the stuff that really counts. These bases out here, they're worth some points, right? But they're not that critical to what he has to do now, because I no longer really have any power projection capability out here anyway. So even if he were to completely ignore these bases for the short term, it's not going to really slow him down for what he wants to do, right? He was able to take Darwin without him. He's basically fully completed his conquest of the Philippines. We just had a blowout here on Mindanao. So we're retreating down the Darwin gas here, but these troops are done. Like, they're not capable of doing anything, really. So in hindsight, I don't think Lodrik has done that bad in the Dutch East Indies, right? Yeah, sure, he's not moving as fast as a more conventional Japanese player would or should, but he's grabbed everything he needed to grab, right? He's got Balikpapan, Palembang, Surabaya, Batavia. Looking back on it now, I don't think he did that bad. And the losses he took to do it weren't that awful either. So I want to say good job, Lodrik. I mean, you've really done okay for yourself here. Same thing in the Philippines. He grabbed everything he needed to grab in a reasonable amount of time. So we can talk about Darwin now. That just fell. We took heavy casualties there. So these broken forces are now retreating full speed for Catherine. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do much there because Catherine has no supply. And because of the remoteness of this place, it's super difficult to get supplies into Catherine. They're just not flowing from Alice Springs and Cloncurry up this way. I've been trying for a week and a half to get supplies to Catherine. I know it isn't really, like, I don't know. I just do this just to for my peace of mind, it doesn't really change anything. Nothing is flowing up there because of the supply cost to get it up there. So these troops are retreating, but they're going to have to keep going. And I think we're going to have to go all the way down to Tennant Creek before we have any chance of slowing him down. So if he wants to continue pressing south, he can take all these bases up here. We're not going to be able to stop him. Now, he's going to run into the same supply issues as we do, but I know he captured a lot of supply in Darwin. We had 30 some odd thousand supply there, and I don't know how much was lost when he took the base. But I also have all these damaged aircraft here that we can't repair because we have no supply. So if he's about to take the base, what I'll do is I'll just disband them. Let me show you what that looks like. You disband them. Some of these will be destroyed, right? We have to scuttle them. And some of the planes get sent to the pool, some don't. It's a crapshoot which ones you get. Anything in red is permanently destroyed, but I will do that to keep him from taking them out just before he attacks Catherine. So, and that will also be a shock attack, but because of the terrain here. But I don't intend to be in Catherine when he gets there. We're going to evacuate before he gets there because I don't want to lose any more troops here. What I've got here is not capable of stopping this force. So I am still trying to figure out what Lodrik's long-term plans are for northern Australia. I really don't know yet. But I will say this. We are moving troops from Perth because we have a lot there. I'm railing them up to Alice Springs, and from there I'll decide if I want to just hold here or maybe head up to Tennant Creek and try to put up a line of defense there. I also have troops going to Cloncurry and Normanton, just in case he wants to continue pressing down these roads, because I don't want him getting past here, here, or here. He can have the rest of this if he really wants it. I don't want him penetrating too much deeper into Central Australia, and even coming close to potentially threatening Cairns or Townsville, because these are major bases, Cooktown as well. So I'm going to give this time. It's going to take him weeks or months to really traverse a lot of this terrain. It will buy us some time to figure out what we want to do, but we are moving troops to Alice Springs for now. Over here, the Queen Elizabeth is about to exit the map. It should make it safely. It wasn't detected. There's no way that any ships he's got are going to catch up to this bad boy. It's too fast. Over here, we do have a little bit of activity in the Tasman Sea. Lodrik's got these carriers here. They did a port strike last turn on Lord Howe. Did some minor damage, but they dodged. These two AVPs did dodge any damage. It was kind of a pitiful port strike, honestly. Our Catalinas are just fine. Right? They are keeping good eyes on these guys. So between the naval search I have in Australia, Noumea, all through New Zealand, we shouldn't lose sight of this guy. If he wants to get crazy and head towards Sydney, I've got about 60 fighters ready to go right now on cap, which is more than double than what he's bringing. So if he were to try to come into Sydney, it would be very costly for him. Same thing at Brisbane. I got almost 100 fighters there on cap, ready to go if he wants to start moving towards the coastline here and try a port strike on Brisbane or Sydney. I don't think he'll do that. I think he realizes this force is not strong enough to really do that, but I'm not taking any chances. Up here at Port Moresby, I'll go ahead and talk about it now because it's too late for him to stop it. I have this task force here loaded down with two very important units, the 27th Australian Brigade and the U.S. 2nd U.S. Fighter Corps or Command. So two things. That's going to allow me to rebuild the Australian 8th Division, right? That's the last piece of it coming in. And then from there, we're also going to add an air HQ to Port Moresby, and that's going to do a few things. It's going to give me more aviation support. It's going to increase the base administration even more than what it is now, so I can have more units operating here. It's also going to help coordinate bomber strikes. So when I do send B-17s to Rabaul, for example, when you have an air HQ in the hex with the bombers, it helps coordinate the attack so more of them fly at one time. when you don't have an air HQ, they go out more fragmented and you get those kind of straggler kind of formations. The air HQ being present will help organize this better so we have more effective strikes. So this is long overdue. I'm looking forward to getting that air HQ in there. It's just going to help Port Moresby be a better air base. Okay, so in addition to the carriers here, we also have spotted this task force here, which is moving northeast towards the Ellis Islands. I don't know to what end, what all's in there or why they're going there, but we're watching it. At Suva, we're waiting for the shoe to drop. We're expecting another division to come in from Nadi to here, and then he'll probably take the base. But if he just attacks with what he's got here, we probably got another full day of resistance before he takes Suva. And we also know he's got another carrier stationed here. It says there's 5 carriers. I think there's only 1 or 2 based on the amount of aircraft that we're seeing. But carriers here and here, and who knows where the rest of them are at. I suspect he's got stuff floating around out here trying to cut off our convoy lanes, which he's doing pretty good. Luganville just went up to another port capacity, which is good and bad. It's good because when I take it back from him, it's going to be built up better, and it's bad because it's making the base more useful to him. All right, let me see. Is there anything else we can talk about? No real activity at Rabaul this turn that we can see. Nothing really going on in the Gilberts or the Marshalls that we can see. I think that's basically it for now. Oh, I'll talk about one last operation and I'll end the video. So you recall about a week or 2 ago, the Hiryu struck Pago Pago and damaged a lot of ships. But I've got them repaired sufficiently now to head them out. So I packaged these guys up and we're making a run for it. We're going to be heading for Palmyra initially. Palmyra to Pearl Harbor. Hopefully we get out. I've got these guys run an ASW to help keep the subs located, and we don't see any this turn, so hopefully they're just not around. And we're going to make a run for it, and we're going to get to Palmyra and then continue on to Pearl to try to repair these ships and save all this stuff. 1 destroyer is going to be left behind. The crane is too damaged for my liking to send out, so I'm going to leave it on pier side for a little bit longer to work down some of this system damage before we head out. And that's basically it. That's the plan. So next turn I'm hoping for some good activity with all my B-26s down here. I'm hoping that our retreat continues more or less unabated in China because I do have a plan now. I am hoping that we get linked up with the Hermes in a couple turns to get that thing back to Adu. And we'll just have to see what develops here at Darwin. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. This was a very eventful turn. Despite me having very bad success or no success and bad luck this last couple weeks, I'm still really enjoying this campaign because it's back and forth, right? I was doing better, Lodrik's doing better, I do better, he does better. And right now we're just on the phase where Lodrik's doing better, but I'm still having fun. He's keeping me busy and on my toes. I was not planning for this. I was not planning for that. So now I'm having to change all my plans all the time based on his erraticness, right? Helson's very predictable for the most part, with the exception of that nonsense he's doing deep in the convoy lanes. But Lodrik, I can't read him at all. He's all over the place. So he's keeping me busy. And I hope you're enjoying it. Catch you guys on the next one.